Greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's Off-Grid Warrior, and as you can see, I'm pushing my bike up a mountain right now. I think I'm heading up to around about 6,700 foot, maybe a little more than that. I got to push my bike up there. There's no riding up there, and once I get up there, I'll be overnighting and giving you guys who have waited so patiently and been wondering, I know because I get messages almost every day, wondering where the hell and what the hell Off-Grid Warrior is up to. So I'll give you folks an update when I get up to the top. Sorry about the bumpy ride. You're right now strapped to my handlebar. Anywho, I've just started out this little trip. I got a ways to go, so let's do this. Chat later. Oh, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's Off-Grid Warrior, and yes, I know it's been quite some time since I've put anything out on YouTube. I've pretty much been missing in action, I know. And yes, I am on a mountain right now. It's getting cold, the sun is going down. You want to have a quick view. It's absolutely stunning right now. Well worth the push up here. Of course, I have a bunch of friends hanging out with me tonight. Anyways, those are my buddies for the evening. I'm going to be sleeping up here. And I'm going to take this opportunity to give you guys an update as to what has happened with the Off-Grid Warrior and the cabin build and all of that. Because, to be honest, I get messages daily from folks wondering what the hell is going on and what am I up to. I got to watch this guy right now. He's desperately trying to get into my little shelter over here, and I have my bicycle across the door. He's a little pesky. He's also smelt my food, and I've had to shoo him away a few times tonight. Anyways, Donovan, that's his name, that's Donovan. No. Oh boy, it's going to be so fun sleeping in a tiny little shelter with my feet sticking out tonight. I have visions of this guy trying to nibble on my feet. Okay. At some point I will get to this update. Oh boy. Okay, so what have I been up to? What's happened? I'm going to try and make a very long story very short, and I'll try and be as honest as possible. And I say that because a lot of it is personal stuff, and you know, just sharing that on YouTube or publicly is like, what's the point? So I sold the property. I'm no longer an owner of property. I did finish the cabin. I do have pictures of the cabin, the completed cabin. I will put them at the end of this video. I sold the property because of two reasons, really. The one reason being, when I initially bought that property, I pretty much just made a horrible mistake in my choice of actual land. I bought some property that was pretty much all downhill on a slope on the side of a mountain. It was a north-facing slope in a valley. So in a valley, I was on the north side. Horrible solar exposure, terrible sunlight. Literally in winter, if I saw an hour and a little bit of direct sunlight on the front of the cabin, that was great. It was pretty dark and gloomy through winter. And the next thing would be water. I was hauling water, which isn't too bad. I actually didn't mind hauling water. The problem is if you want to live in a self-sustainable way, or be as independent as possible if you want to grow food. I know this sounds really obvious and you guys are probably laughing at me, but like I say, at the time that I bought it, I was actually a different man in a different place, mentally, emotionally. I pretty much ran out into the woods and bought this property without thinking too much. So that's the first problem, right? It wasn't the ideal property to develop and turn and shape into what I wanted a sustainable piece of property to be. I mean, it could have never become that because there's just not enough sunlight. I tried growing tomatoes as soon as possible and had them started them indoors and got them outdoors, and they just never really got or amounted to anything. And there's just simply not enough sunlight. So in a way, I'm glad I didn't dump a lot of money on that property trying to develop it, because it would have been a waste. I was an absolute idiot buying a piece of property like that. Yes, that's baby goat. I was just an idiot buying a piece of property like that. I learned my lesson. The other thing that comes into play there is employment. I was really out in the middle of nowhere in a county that has very low employment opportunity, and jobs were slim to none, and good jobs were really slim to none. So, I mean, honestly, guys, you want to live off grid, be self-sustainable, you're going to need an income. I know this is kind of obvious, but you're going to need an income, or a passive income, or some way to pay at least for property taxes and things like that. I mean, this is unfortunately not 100 years ago, 80 years ago. Things have changed. This isn't the homesteading act where we can just go out and get property and work it. It's just it's a novel idea to think you can get out there and live on a piece of land all by yourself and just live sustainably. That goat is getting on the roof of my sleeping area, and I was worried about that. Hey, go. Those rocks, if they come down when I'm sleeping, they're going to fall on my face. And I'm a little worried about these guys being inquisitive or smelling me and then standing up there as I sleep in the evening and then knocking rocks down. I'm going to wake up with a black eye or a bloody nose. Okay, so where were we? We were at employment. I was sort of struggling with that. That was going to be an ongoing issue, but primarily the land was not suitable for homesteading and creating a piece of paradise that would be good for growing items and so on. So just a bad choice in property, in land, okay? Employment was an issue. And the other thing, unfortunately, I have to mention it because it was a large part of my decision just to get the hell out of there. When I left that property and sold it, I pretty much gave it away. It's not like I made a ton of money. The other thing was I managed to get myself into just a crazy, horrible relationship, and all I can say is, guys, when you see red flags right in the beginning and things don't seem quite right, chances are they're not. If something smells fishy when you open a bowl of fruit and it smells fishy, something's probably wrong with the fruit. Okay, so I ignored the red flags and I got way too involved. And when I think back, I should have run on month 3 or just at least said no, thank you. And 3 years later, I was still like knocking my head against the wall. So like a child, I learned some obvious lessons which I didn't pay attention to. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And I pretty much just got out of Dodge when I made the decision. I was like, I am so done. So. Wow, I've given you a lot of information there, probably more than what I wanted to give. So what's the plan going ahead? Well, I'll never be happy living in a city, in a box. That's just not for me. So that's never going to happen. So what I'm going to do is start over again. I got to save some money. I have to do some crazy stuff to put money away, and you know, buy some property and start all over again. This time it'll be the right property, suitable for what I want to do with it. It will get lots of sun, and there will be water nearby. A running creek, all year round creek would be great. You know, those are the two things, sun and water. You're gonna die without it. It's that simple. Okay, I know these are stupid, like duh, that's obvious, but I was not thinking clearly at the time that I bought that property, and consequently the years after, I was still not thinking clearly. Now I can, and now I do. So if you want to hang around, that's great. I can guarantee you that in a year or two, I'll be doing the off-grid thing again, and hopefully building that out and documenting it. So it's been an interesting ride. That's all I've got, folks, and that is what happened, and I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to enjoy this last bit of sun.